welcome to Keeping the Ball in the Ground.
Hi Simon.
What's happening, guys? All right?
Yes.
Got your ears pierced,
Ears pierced. One's not really completely all the way through, Simon. So I'm a bit.
What are the earrings for Gucci?
Gucci diamond. Unbelievable name, style, isn't it?
Many G's with they, bro?
3-4 G's. Do you think I said that?
I think you've got your attitude again, didn't you?
He does, like.
You've got your attitude.
Yeah, I've got to want to see the suit. I've got a suit made. Somebody made a suit for us. Can't get it until the contract gets signed. Who I'm dealing with, and you know who it is.
Same guy, same company that made that leather jacket.
Do you like that?
Yeah, it's lovely.
Belter.
Who gave you?
Mad Frank, £300 it cost him. Shoulder pads, obviously on the shoulders, and fanny pads in the pockets. Yeah, Colin Montgomery sitting next to you. What's the script of that fucking t-shirt?
I just want to game of golf, so I thought I'm not dressing up because Slaney doesn't make much of an effort this week, so I thought I'm not making an effort this week.
Are you playing golf after it?
I'm going for a wee 9 holes after it. Well,
Any
10
regrets?
holes. Going for 10 holes, 9 at the course, and obviously 1 at home. No, that's my plan. So got my flip flops on, didn't even bother with fucking put the golf shoes on in the van.
That's got to be something done about that.
Is he sitting next to you with flip-flops on?
Innit? Can't be happening that.
Take that hat off for 2 minutes.
No, sorry, don't do
Come
that.
on, let us see.
Go.
Fucked it, mate.
No, mate, that was good.
Think so?
Do you shave it yourself?
I just shaved it. Done years in my hair with myself. Lost the plot, man.
Alright, shave.
It's too
Oh,
long.
mate, that's terrible, actually.
I know.
Slaney, you need to just shave
It's good
it
on the
off.
top, the suits on the top, it's just in the fade and that,
It's
innit?
like a nice gem.
Did you put some highlights on it?
I had a breakdown, man. Is that fucking new Lennon?
But he's looking like a movie star again. He's got an American accent, isn't
Is it
he?
Ashton Kutcher?
Something like Ashton Kutcher.
Skinny
Ashton
Mark.
Kutcher on a Cumden.
Skinny Mark Wahlberg.
Mate, I'm fucked today. I need you to cheer me up.
I'm not in a good place today.
How was up here?
Sleeping on that couch last night.
What's happened? She put you on the couch?
No, she's not.
Is he in the bit? Were you in the...
I'm just sitting there with diamond earrings in, get out.
I told you. But, yeah, watching Gomorrah. Have you seen it? How
Amazing.
good is it, man?
One of the best.
So I was watching it last night,
Bobby?
and I couldn't turn it. I couldn't turn it off. So I ended up falling asleep watching it. And
Who'd you like better, Ginny or Immortal? Chiro?
my favourite's Don Pietro, but
Don Pietro.
I can't say too much, can we?
Ruthless.
But watch Gomorrah.
I'll tell you the best programmes ever made. It's The Serpent.
The Serpent, you think?
I
Yeah.
felt it's alright. Sure.
Oh, good news. We Cragen's back to school. What days yours the same?
Is he?
I've got one's away to school, and the other 3's at home. Fucking shite.
Next week they're all back with that.
No,
No, they're not now.
are they not?
I think so.
No, I think March the 8th.
He's definitely Cragen, so he asked for a pair of bootcut trousers to go back in a short back inside.
What about his trainers?
Skechers.
Skechers. Colour Skechers. By the way, talk to him about,
No, he wanted a square toe brogue. That's what Cragen would wear, innit? A square toe.
talk to him about his commentary in the European game. Have you watched that? Cragen's commentary?
Does he like it?
Awful. We'll go into it when we're talking about it though.
Is your dad still wearing the teacher outfit in the house?
He wears that
The
all the
pencil
time.
skirt?
Spanks me with the big ring, didn't he? The big whip.
What teacher spanked somebody with a whip?
It was been the belt. Remember that back in the day, you get a belt?
Yeah.
Sorry, just a wee bit out of my depth for the.
You're alright, you'll come good. You'll come good.
Right, Ross County Celtic. Is that what's made you angry, Paul?
Fuming, Simon, I can't hold it in anymore. I'm absolutely fucking
What
fuming.
else is it to say, Paul?
Nothing else to say.
So you're not saying anything?
See that rebuild stuff? Rebuild, Simon. We're talking about the biggest season in the history of the club, one of them anyway. And they're talking about a rebuild. I'm sick of fucking hearing it. You know what I mean, though?
So do you not think it should be a rebound?
Aye. No, but I don't mean it that way. But I mean, like, Stoke going on about the new date in the summer. We're talking about this season. This team's well and truly good enough there to be competing for that league this year.
So why have you not?
That is a $1 question, Simon. How it's got this bad, isn't it? On Rangers, and we're not going to go into them. If they win their next 8 games, they'll have the same points as Brendan Rodgers' invincible season.
Wow.
Many games has it to go?
8.
8.
Big ass on it, when 8 out of 8.
Especially in Europe as well.
Celtic are now getting beat off teams whose manager's specky. That's embarrassing, isn't it? John Hughes doesn't even need specs, mate.
It's a man, isn't it, John Hughes? Yeah,
No,
you
John
called it, aye, you called it.
It changes week to week. What about his interview before the game? Did you see when he
Brilliant.
was telling
I know, but that's the
interview what his
thing,
tactics were going to be?
telling the opposition manager what you're going to do, and they obviously didn't listen to what he was going to do. I'm fucking sick of talking about Celtic, to be honest. And
I don't think they played that bad in terms of general performance.
To be fair, I thought.
I just think that let's give Ross County the praise for winning the game. Ultimately, sitting bottom of the table, climbed up 2 places. Would that be right?
Yeah.
Right.
So me and Slaney, I think, had them down for relegation last week. So
that, to be fair.
This week I think Chitter struggled.
That was poor. That was shite. That's enough, innit?
We'll come to that in a minute.
You can't get away with the chances they've missed there.
No.
I mean,
Right, everyone's talking about Chris's one, Edwards, man.
I know he
First
missed
chance
the
of the
ball
game,
for that,
missed the ball.
Yeah.
And it doesn't, you even look at it, doesn't even really take a bobble, does it? It gets any type of contact for it, he's 2 yards for goal.
Pitch was awful, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Mate,
Justin was trying to impress a new CEO with rugby.
Oh, it must have been, aye.
Mate, every pitch in the country now looks terrible. Terrible.
My groundsman out on my face, he's fucked off. Rubbish.
But some Celtic up that Christie's playing up front, you've got 3 strikers sitting on
But
the
why,
bench.
Simon, but why, I need to know this from your point of view, right? Celtic were in a winning when they played 2 up front. Why is he now taking the extra striker out?
Something's obviously happened with Griffiths, isn't it? 'Cause Griffiths,
Jetty was
in that shape, Griffiths needs to play. He's the only one that runs in behind.
But if something's happened between Griffiths and whatever the manager, why is he even travelling then? Surely, like, he's on the bench, so there can't be that much of an issue there somewhere if he's good enough to think he's on the bench. But I don't know. It's an away game, right? So normally teams, when they go away, they change their systems, change formations to suit an away game. But we're talking about Celtic playing Ross County here. Celtic should just be going there with 2 strikers and attacking Ross County. Like you say, they had enough chances to win the game, they just didn't take them. But would you have seen Lee Griffiths miss possibly those chances that fell to Christie? I don't think he would have done. No. And I think that's the difference. And might say the old fitness thing or whatever it is, or his head's not right, whatever. But when it comes to playing football, that's probably Lee Griffiths' release. It's probably his one thing that he enjoys most. So when he'd probably get an opportunity like Christie did last night, I think at least they took one of them, and that would probably have been enough to see the game out and win the game.
Another set piece as well.
I think it's Celtic's 4 biggest signing this summer, right? Ayeti, El Yunusi, Duffy and Barkas, not one of them playing. Can't get in a team.
Mate, I'd love to know the percentage of Celtic's goals they've conceded for set pieces or crosses.
I think it was
honestly,
last night, it was a stat. I
80%.
think it was the highest in the league in terms of defence.
Oh, it must be.
Set pieces.
Must be. Because they not even set pieces though, for general open play, they look so vulnerable to cross balls.
Do you think that is down to, sorry to interrupt you, do you think it's down to, when you're defending set plays, it's great having big guys. I was always a guy that was sitting back and I wasn't able to pick up anybody, I was just going head of the ball, and 9 times out of 10, if I didn't win the ball, I made it difficult for the person that was close to heading the ball. So you always had a chance. Celtic's got big guys, so it's down to picking up or lapses of concentration or how they set up. What is it? Is it that are they lacking in? I don't.
Kev, generally, see for me, right? See, growing up, how much did coaches emphasise on stopping crosses?
Aye.
Like if you were a fullback or a winger, it was track back to fullback, stop crosses. See now, you don't see the same amount of desire to stop crosses, do you?
More interested in going forward than that.
Or if a cross comes in, we'll deal with it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
But
sorry, Slaney, I meant
you will
everybody fucking hell. In the last lots of weeks that I've watched all the highlights, right, and I keep watching it, and this is not just Celtic and teams around it, every team seems to be putting excess amount of crosses in week in, whether it be, if you watch the St Johnstone game Saturday, St Johnstone was cross after cross after cross, Rangers with Barisic and Tavernier, it's cross after cross after cross. It's as if we've gave up the idea of proper defending, stop, like you say Andy, stop crosses. And teams, because they're being barded with crosses, they don't know how to defend. Because it's not been a thing, whereas now it seems to me that all teams are just, I don't know what it is, I don't know whether there's a change in lack of quality or...
Surely they've got to be doing stuff for set plays in the training.
I know, but you know yourself, mate, see when you used to practice set plays on the training ground?
It's half-arsed, isn't it? And Lennon did say that, but
You don't want to smash each other.
But what is it?
But there still needs to be a desire when the game comes to actually...
Is that the issue that they're not want to win the ball?
Attack the ball and defend your ball.
But see, even you're saying Celtic are a big team, they're no aggressive players. They didn't win tackles, Celtic players. They're no aggressive players. They're all nice football players, but no aggressive.
No, I'd agree with that to a point. You see some of the teams like maybe Aberdeen, you see maybe like Motherwell, St John, and some of the tackles, the what do you call it game, the Hamilton Ackies and the Hibs game, some of the tackles flying in there, proper, going for it, no holds barred. Whereas with Celtic, sometimes I think you don't see that, but I don't know. It's just that if somebody, there probably will be a statistician out there, but how many goals from all the teams have been scored for crosses this year? I bet it's a very high percentage.
But again, why is Laxalt marking Jimmy White in the box?
Like Jimmy White, aye.
Do you know what I mean?
Aye.
Why is Iron or Welsh not marking him?
See for me, see when you're defending wide set pieces as well, I think you should always have your tallest towards the back. Aye.
Mate, that ball's only going to the back post.
You should always have your tallest defenders towards the back, your most aggressive defenders, because near post, it's more often than not, it's easy to defend a near post wide free kick, innit?
But even if the
any sort of contact to clear the box, anyone that comes back, it's either getting a header on goal or it's a back first contact header back across the goal, which is harder to defend. You don't, like you said, you don't want Laxalt defending. No.
Mate,
obviously, Laxalt's got to do better as well.
Welsh is in the middle of the goal. Like you say, that ball's never going to the middle of the goal. It's going to the back post. Put Welsh and Iron at the back post.
See, I've been part of teams in the past as well, struggle defensively. And one thing I despise, and it's more of a coach's opinions, I hate zonal marking. Because one thing about zonal marking is
I hate it.
There's no accountability who concedes a goal. Because but it's in between us, it's over my head, it's in front of you. Like, you attack it, I hate it. See, if it's man mark, that's your man, you defend your man, you defend your...
Everybody does it now, don't they?
So if your man scores, it's your fault. So see if your wide free kicks and corners, I hate that half man mark, half zonal mark. And people always say, aye, but man mark, like, they set blockers and all that. Well, just don't be blocked. Like, try your best to stay tight to a man or don't let him get a run on you. You just keep them tight, didn't you, and try no foul them.
But a centre half as well should be up against. He's standing on his own because he's zonal. But your centre half should be up against somebody, stopping them.
100%, aye.
If you get really, really tight as a defender, or if you're defending and you get tight enough, they're never going to get a mad run on you to lose you or thing. But as long as you're touch tight all the time, you can hinder them in some way so that he doesn't get a clean contact. Whereas I don't think that's happening. I think it's lacklustre, like the zonal thing. I don't know. The zonal thing's always like you say, it's a get out for some people. Aye, but it was his fault. It wasn't in my zone. But if you'd have moved 2 yards that way or 2 yards that way, it would have been in your zone. I don't know.
I think Foster helps that as well.
Yeah, for a big goalie.
Big goalkeeper who's commanding in the box. Could come out and collect things. It just gives everybody more confidence. You know what I mean? So,
Laxalt was saying that he couldn't move because he's supposing his arse hairs are braided as well.
Braided, aye. Got them braided at the same time, innit? 2 for 1, he said.
Look, do you know what else he does? So Laxalt, after the goal goes in, he fucking throws his arms up and somebody else. I cannot go that, eh?
That's the worst thing in football,
I hate that in players. Who's the worst player you played with who's did that?
You.
I would blame players all the time, but who would be?
I
don't know if do you want to put him on?
No, I just can't think.
I used to date fucking quite regularly.
I think it's more that's a more a goalie thing, innit? I think a goalie's always got... I hate with goalies when they make a good save, but they still start shouting at defenders. Or shouting at midfielders or something.
That was your man, St Johnson on Saturday. He made a good save for 25 yards and he's fucking shouting at everybody. I'm thinking, shut up, you wanted to save that. You could have caught the fucking thing.
That doesn't really annoy me as much. It's like I've said to you before, bench watchers. I hate bench watchers. See if they make a good pass and then start looking at the manager on the bench.
Do you know what's even worse? Somebody goes to take a corner and does that to the crowd. I fucking hate that. Do you know?
Do you know what I think?
See if you want the crowd to get up,
can't do that now.
Play a bit better,
Can't do that now.
I think I would have that in me.
Would you? Get the crowd going?
I love that. I love to come when we run out to one of the shows, do that. Get on the crowd going. That'd be different.
But you're a corner, mate.
We had a guy at Swindon, mate, that used to do like 3 laps of the pitch after every win.
Pathetic.
Get off, man.
Rubbish, pathetic that.
Honestly, I used to hate that. We used to stand and watch him in the tunnel.
You know, it's me inside it now, didn't
Do you remember Gary Roberts that played down south?
Aye.
Yeah, funny as fuck, Rob.
Good player,
really good player, left wing. He hated it under the Canio, right? Because he was a pure tricky guy, didn't know how to work hard. He was the only guy I've ever seen. See if the Canio was talking to you one-on-one, Robbo would go right behind his head and...
mate, I love that.
That's brilliant, man. Good pattern, man. John Hughes, as we said, relegation's so hard to call, but Yogi's going to keep him up, isn't he? I'm adamant.
Well, I was quite impressed. He changed his style last night.
They never put 2 passes together. I think he'll tell you that himself last night.
I don't think he'd be really bothered about that, Simon, because he is somebody that bases himself on attractive football, but...
I think maybe 3 years ago that would have bothered him, but absolutely. I think now that's where he's got better, Yogi.
But I think that's the thing, a good manager, Simon, and I'll have this debate with absolutely anybody. We talk about Guardiola, Rodgers stuff. I think you... Actually, I don't know.
Play what you've got.
Aye, but see, do you agree, right, that's a wee bit off topic here. If you're a manager, right, would you play the same style, right? Would you have a philosophy, as they like to call it, right? Playing out all the time. Or would you change it for what team you're coming up against. What do you think's better for a
A
player?
bit of both, wouldn't you?
Would you?
You'd need to have a bit of both.
Would you change it?
Like, you want to play it for the back, but if you're playing Rangers,
I still think
you wouldn't play it for the back.
But these new see managers now though, Simon, Rodgers, they don't change for them, they don't know. Would that be right to say that? Do
Nah,
they?
they still do.
I think they changed slightly where the disguise they changed, so it doesn't look as if they have done. So like if you're talking like a 4-3-3 that becomes a 4-5-1, they just tell people to sit back, whatever. I just think you've got to change because no every team's going to play the same way every week.
But they nearly scored. Ross County nearly scored. Bain made some save first half as well.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Who was it? Was it Spittle?
Spittle, yeah, but Spittle.
Was it Spittle's chance in the first half?
But
And then
see
again
that-
for the corner, who's
See what you're
First
saying
and
with philosophy as
second
well. I think it takes maybe a year to get, like John Hughes has went in there to keep Ross County up. You just need to play whatever way you can to keep County up, and then in time try. I think Jim Goodwin's done it well at St.
aye. Must be so hard not having like an actual pre-season with a team.
to get them in
To come
how you want
straight
to play.
in
Yeah.
and try to make an instant impact must be hard for a manager. But to be fair,
There's
the relegation's so hard to call. I think in Scotland.
It's
I've
exciting,
I've changed my opinion every week, so there's no point me
exciting,
changing it
isn't it?
again. I've said Ross County, and I don't wish anybody to go down, but I just think Hamilton, man, it's about time we actually back them and say
I love
they're going to stay
Hamilton.
up. Because every year we do say
that,
it.
they'll go down. See if we say they're
I
going to
know.
stay up, they'll go down.
Aye.
Maybe I think
Aye,
The
they're
thing
going
with
to
Hamilton is that they're creating plenty of chances, opportunities to score goals.
I think they started better than Hibs on Saturday
I think they
before they
genuinely
sent it
did.
off.
Mate, they were very good for the first 10-15 minutes.
I just think that like the likes of Motherwell, they are, if we look at Hamilton and Motherwell, right? Hamilton creating chances, yeah, they got beat, so did Motherwell. Motherwell only had one shot on I think, win the box.
I think St
once.
Johnstone had 20 shots, kid.
Aye, 20, I think it was 26.
Aye, what a job he's
to
done.
one. So like for me, I would be more concerned in a relegation battle if I wasn't creating chances, whereas Hamilton are creating chances. I think that gives them an opportunity. And like we said, I said before, that it'll come down to when the split happens, when they start playing each other and start taking points off each other, because these games against the top six and now they're kind of like the Ross County wins for the Ross County win against Celtic. That's a bonus 3 points because it wasn't expected. So
Yeah.
we'll see what happens.
It's like what you're saying about Hamilton about philosophy, isn't it? I think Brian Rice tried to put his philosophy in too quick. They were trying to play too much football and they were losing games. I think he's changed it. He's been harder to beat.
Aye.
And with a mix of
hope they are
They actually still do play some
Play as
decent
well,
stuff
yeah.
though.
I want
That
them to stay
Motherwell
up.
game, some of the goals they scored. Was,
Brilliant,
in St. Johnson, we were talking about it before, St. Johnson. I've never seen St. Johnson play as good a football as they have for a long, long time.
Manager of the year.
You were coming for him at the start as well. You apologise
He's
to him?
proved me wrong, I apologise.
Callum.
Davidson, I will not call him the mumbler anymore.
Okay, he's giving him
Deserves,
his phone,
he's got that name off his back. Do you know what I mean? Good on him. But listen, I've got a real soft spot for Hamilton and Motherwell, Simon. They were an absolute disgrace. weren't
I
they?
agree.
And the appointment of that manager, I called that as well. I was very unsure of him getting the job. Had he done enough to get that job? And the answer was no. And at the moment, he's fried and he doesn't know what he's trying to do in that pitch. Try to pass it.
on that Fir Park pitch.
Come on.
You might need to buy them a new pitch again.
I'll do it again if he wants to do that.
Both of your old clubs are in trouble. Kelly and Motherwell. Could Kelly go down?
Kelly for me,
Kabamba is. You should put Kabamba centre half.
mate, he's
Doesn't know what to
actually,
score, mate.
he's actually alright as a striker.
Yeah,
but it just
doesn't
doesn't
really work
like
out.
even when near the end of the game, great touch, he got himself in it, and all you had to do is square the ball to the boy, and he would have a clear shot at goal. He takes it on the outside for himself, and then he ends up shooting or crossing. I don't know what he actually did. He decided, I don't know what I'm doing, so I'll just do a half in each. But
Who's going down?
Kilmarnock and Motherwell, for me, are on a slippery slope. I don't think Kilmarnock's creating enough. I don't think they've had a kick from the new manager coming in. Motherwell, geez, I don't know about Motherwell. Fucking hell, Motherwell's got some good players, but
Motherwell need to get Declan Gallagher back in the team. I don't know what's happening there.
offensively they were. Oh,
What's Tommy Wright done to
Declan
his hair? I
Gallagher's
think he's
been a massive
conditioning it
miss
now.
Tommy
I think he used
Wright's
to
had a
be
wee bit of
soft.
Josh Vermain or something in there. There's a
Yeah.
bit of product or something. It's a bit thicker looking.
He's got cheekbones and that now, Tommy Wright.
So
I think he cares more about his appearance than
Appearance?
actually games of
Think so?
football now. I do.
Maybe that's because he is, but
He was doing that in after the game.
I seen that.
Just being beat, he was doing that.
I heard he got his ears pierced or not.
he's thinking about it.
Right, come on then, we'll say now, and this will be, we'll replay this at the end of the season. Who's going down?
Let me look at the league table just to have a picture of it, Simon.
I said Ross County last week, so I'll stick to it, but
Ross County will finish bottom.
aye.
Okay, Kevin?
I'm actually going to say, right, and I really don't want to say this, right?
Old club.
But
So you're saying Kelly?
I'm saying Kilmarnock because I just think they're in a run, Simon, that's like Tommy Wright praised his team afterwards and said, "Oh, we thought we did quite well and stuff." But they're playing against an Aberdeen team that hadn't scored a goal for how many hundreds of minutes, and I just think that see once you start going down that slope, and then like in 2 games' time the split will happen. 3 games' time the split will happen.
Aye.
And then Kilmarnock's then got to play all these teams round about them, and I just think that I just don't know.
What's the Jet feeling about Kelly just now?
I don't think the Jet
Worried?
are arse, to be honest.
No.
I think that's why Hamilton will be alright. I think once the split happens,
I genuinely think once the split
happens,
happens, I think that Hamilton will get a win. And I don't like. I think if you listen to Brian Rice after the game on Saturday, I think I listened to it on the radio, whatever, and he says, "I'm working with a group of young guys there that don't have any fear." So for me, that's the difference. I think the guys are just going out there trying to express themselves. Win, lose or draw, they're going to keep doing the same things repetitive each week, and eventually they'll get the wins, they'll get more wins, and I think that's the difference. I think Kilmarnock, I just...
And Hamilton have got a set 11 as well, which I think makes
Motherwell's
a
down.
difference.
Motherwell's down.
I think it'll be Motherwell or Kilmarnock.
No,
I think it's one of the two.
I'm telling you.
I think Yogi
If
Hughes
he
will...
continues to play at that, that's 4-1 at home and 3-0 at home.
Tell you what, we're going to take some shit for this, aren't we?
Oh no, wait a minute. No, they're 4 points ahead of Kilmarnock and I've got a game in hand. Nah, Kelly's down.
Kelly.
It must be Kelly. Aye, the way.
What about Ross County?
We did a wee algorithm there, an
I
equation.
tipped Ross County all last week because of that win last night.
Do you think Ross County why do you think Ross County will still go down?
Because I think that once the split comes, I think Hamilton will pick up more points in Ross County. Kelly, man. Kelly are one that's probably slipped under the radar a wee bit just because how bad the run is they're actually on. So they obviously they could, but
Would you like
surely
to?
Kelly have got enough to keep them up.
Who
And
would you
surely
like to
Tom
see
Wright
down?
will then make an impact where he's going to make them harder to beat and start to pick up points. Because to be fair, the start they've had's not been great.
No.
Since he got the job, was it Celtic, Rangers, Aberdeen
And Motherwell.
Who would you want to go down? Anybody that you'd like to?
I don't want any.
Would you respect the Specky man?
Obviously.
If you get the manager and he was Specky, would you respect him now?
Nah, definitely not.
Has there ever been a successful Specky manager?
Don't think so. No.
Klopp?
Pat Fenlon.
Fuck's sake.
What kind of specs do you think Yogi's got? Boss or something?
Pound shot.
Ted Baker at
Pound shot.
think so.
pound shot.
Aye,
Do you think he's
pound
tight,
man.
Yogi?
Pound man.
He doesn't
straight
impress,
pound
doesn't he,
man.
no?
Big man's-
No, he doesn't.
big
He's got
man's the
eyes
man
like
of
a
the
fucking
people.
wolf.
He's the man
Mark
of the
McKeown
people.
does it enough.
Man of the people.
Man of the people, straight to pound shot every week. Sits on him when he comes in for training, breaks him, goes into pound shot, gets an off here.
Do you know when he wasn't in management, he was labouring? That's how much a man of the people he is on a building site. I love shit like that.
Some
do you?
man, I love him and Ross.
I hope they stay up, Joe.
Labouring for who? Like a building site or just...
I think so. So I heard he was doing labouring for a building site.
They're Celtic to stay up, man.
He
Celtic
could-
to stay up.
I hope so.
They'll stay up.
Just a man
Yeah,
of the
stuff
people,
like
mate.
that.
Aye. Aye, he's just going to have the whole country behind him now, so go to stay.
Aye.
Brilliant. Right, Rangers, Andy. What a result last week against Antwerp.
Mate, what a game it was.
Good. Second half.
Aye, but even the first half though, it was just a game. It was for instance. I don't think Rangers were great. I honestly don't. But I just thought they were better than Antwerp. Defensively, it's probably the most mistakes I've seen them defensively. Just poor errors, basic errors. But I always think you get the best Rangers team when the European games come. And I said last week, I think their domestic form took a dip probably because they never had that competition on every Thursday where it just raised their game. And going into the game yesterday, I thought it was superb. I actually thought Dundee United started the game better. First 15, 20 minutes, they were in their face, which I was surprised at because they went and done that at Ibrox at the start of the season, got battered. They got battered. Mickey Mellon came out and said that after the game, so I was surprised that they then took the same approach, trying to get after Rangers, make it difficult, and it worked. And the thing is with these teams, when they play Rangers and Celtic, if you start that well and you have the chances, you need that first goal. You need that first goal. So
Yeah, you need to score, don't you?
But when you don't score, when you're on top and then Rangers go ahead, you've got a mountain to climb. But off the back of the Antwerp game, I wasn't that impressed with Antwerp. I really wasn't.
Rubbish.
I think Rangers have
They
played
just had
much.
one way of playing Antwerp, wasn't it?
But I feel as if Rangers have played much better competition in the Europa League. I think they've beaten much better competition as well. I think the biggest thing for Rangers and Rangers fans is they'll be more worried about how long they're going to be missing James Tavernier and Kamal Roof.
I just want to ask you before we move on to the boys. Is he playing left side of the three at Rangers? It looks like a
Oh my
fucking
God.
shift, mate.
It looks like a shift, but you can't like.
So is Kamara designated to go and chase at that
the fullbacks?
Wing back?
Aye. But towards a certain point they'll let a fullback have a ball until maybe it gets to the halfway line and they'll squeeze it and squeeze them all into one half of the pitch. But it's like I've said to you before, that job has been so underappreciated. It's not really getting appreciated to this year because the work they do is ridiculous. And Glenn, for me, first half was the best player on the pitch. By far. Alfredo was... we've said this before, he's no scoring 30 goals anymore. But his overall play is so much better this year. His link-up play, he was involved in all 4 goals during the week. He was involved in all goals against Dundee United yesterday. And then Kenty. I think there's been quite a lot of criticism for Kenty over the last few weeks, but he's back to his best. I thought he made the difference when he came on against Antwerp.
I don't think, but I heard an opinion, and it's not my opinion, so I hope anybody says that.
Somebody said he was spending too much time with his snake, wasn't it?
Aye, 100%, Simon. But Simon, this isn't my opinion, so please don't think it is. Our Rangers as good as what people think they are. And it's not my opinion.
Right.
Don't throw anything at me. They've let 3 goals in for Antwerp. They're not letting any goals in Scotland. Somebody said this, that is the league then in Scotland strong at all?
Right.
So that's what
is this Europe? Who's this? Somebody can we get him on the show instead of you?
Did I say that to you in the car on the way in?
So are you saying they're not that good?
No, listen, defensively, I don't think that are as good as... I think I'm more disappointed in the Scottish League. That's what I'd probably say. I know Europe's a harder level, of course it is, but the really other place the other night, via Antwerp, they let 3 in via Benfica at home. Listen, top side Benfica, but I'm more disappointed in the Scottish teams. I believe there should be more goals certainly going in against Rangers.
You think they had a few chances yesterday, but your problem is you've got Alan McGregor in goals when you do get the chances, who have made 2 good saves.
Would you agree with that? No.
Like the past 5 or 6 weeks have not been as good defensively, but I think that's because they've put in so much hard work over the course of the season. I think it's tough to be that good defensively for a full season. But in terms, I watched them off the ball, mate, and they're very good.
Out of possession. But you look at the goals.
Well, one's a penalty, one's a cross.
By the way, the penalty as well. What's happening in football? How is that a penalty? So any contact in the box if somebody goes down, it's a penalty. Like outrageous. I can't understand. Where's the common sense that a boy gets a nick in the ankle, flings himself at the floor, and that means it's a penalty?
Yeah.
Like mental. The first one, wide free kick. Boy does well with a header, but defensively could be better getting touched. I can't remember the other goal.
Barisic gave the free kick away, wasn't it? And then his man scores for the first goal.
But what was the other one? I can't even remember.
The third goal was kind of like a breakaway, came to the edge of the box, the boys.
That could have happened.
That
could have happened again, though. McGregor, Rangers missed a sitter, then they went up the park early.
Yeah, the one through the middle.
I've said that a number of times. When you play football, you realise how many points a good goalie can win you. It gives you so much confidence as a team. Never mind a back four that if teams get big chances, your goalie can sometimes bail you out. You talk about Dundee United game as well. Shankly's chance in the first minute. Yeah. Giggsy does well to rush out and make himself big. There was another chance straight after where ball gets slipped in behind, he comes out, makes himself big. So
do you think Gerrard got it wrong? The team selection?
When?
What team selection?
Antwerp.
I wouldn't say got it wrong, but I was surprised. I was really surprised that Kenty didn't play, and I was surprised that Jacko didn't play either. Scotty Arfield for me is an unsung hero at Rangers, but I was maybe a wee bit more surprised just because he'd been out for so long. He came back and played like 20 minutes or something. But I actually thought Scotty played really well as well. But I mean, that's the thing with that midfield 3. There needs to be rotation with how much work they do and how much work. Like that's why Devo 36 still basically playing every week. And the consistency.
Defensively, Slaney, obviously, I think I can see your point to a point. But Rangers scoring that many flipping goals, it doesn't really matter too much. Like they lost 3 to Antwerp, but they scored 4. The defensively on Saturday, they were cut open a few times, albeit a wee bit better looks. The Shankland chance early on was a good bit of play with Dundee United, and it just great save. But I think Shankland just tried to lift it over, but didn't get it up. But they go on and then score 4 goals. However the way the goals go in and stuff, they're still scoring a lot. Like, what is their goal difference? It must be plus whatever.
Yeah,
sure.
I think Barisic gets caught out defensively in Europe.
Aye. Do you?
Yeah, but I think but it's also because he gives you so much going forward, mate. He's bombing forward at every opportunity, then's got to defend as well. It's a lot, it's a hard one, do you know what I mean?
Aye. You don't really see... I think you've seen it more with Brendan Rodgers' Celtic team, but I've never seen Rangers be this expressive in attacking in Europe, whereas back in the Walter Smith days they did so well, just sitting in, soaking up pressure, and hitting teams in the counter-attack or scoring a set-piece goal, and it was something that was so successful. They obviously got UEFA Cup final in 2008. Rangers are actually taking the game to some of these teams.
The European campaign this year compared to the time they got to the final years ago is a totally different contrast with the fact that sitting in and hoping for a draw or trying to just see whereas this time they're actually going at teams, and I quite like it because I think you said that you summed up last week with saying that the league form hasn't been great. Maybe the Europa League will kickstart them, and then obviously it did, and then they go and beat the D90 before. They should win that game at home comfortably. Is it this week? Is this Thursday or next Thursday?
This Thursday coming.
This Thursday. Like 1-0, 2-0, probably comfortably, I would think. And then that puts them at the last 8?
No, last
16.
Last 16.
Yeah.
The other thing is the coefficient for Scotland, like they're doing unbelievable for Scottish football in terms of us.
See when people say that's a lot of fish.
I know.
See when people used to say
this is good.
No, but proper Celtic fans are buzzing when Rangers are getting beaten in Europe or the other way about. You don't want any Scottish teams today, well maybe the lower teams, but certainly not the open. You don't, but do you know?
No.
I'm fucking getting annoyed with it all.
I don't think one old firm team wants the other old firm team to do well.
Imagine that growing up when you were buzzing Rangers were doing well in Europe. No chance. You mad? Sick.
Tavernier was said, massive miss, like wee Patterson must be.
Oh, must be.
Can I say something here? And please don't. I know I'm going to.
Is this somebody else's opinion?
No.
That's the same guy.
No, this is. I'm going to be brave here and say this. I don't disagree with a lot of people saying in the media about the boys who went out. I don't disagree, but you can't. They've made a mistake. They're young boys. Phil Foden and Mason Greenwood, two of the brightest players, let's say world football, because that's how special Foden is, and Greenwood's no far after that. They went away with their national team, the biggest achievement you can do in your career, and got 2 birds up to the room in the middle of a pandemic. Now the boys have done right. I'm not saying that. But see all this stuff about they're in a privileged position or that, they're still human beings though at the end of the day. And they've made a mistake. And Alan McCoy said that on the thing the other day, and I didn't really like it, I love Alan McCoy, but he said, how's the boy Patterson feeling sitting at home? That boy will be fucking devastated. But just leave it. Now, I agree with what people are saying, Simon. Of course you can't argue what they've done, but they're young and they've made a mistake. Move on, and people come back and say, the boys had a night out. A wee drink. And it's wrong.
Did you ever do anything like that you regretted as a young boy?
Aye, Simon, that's what I'm saying. Do you know what I mean?
Did you, Simon?
Yeah, I've done it all the time. I've done loads of bad stuff.
Andy?
What?
Was there ever like that one moment where you let yourself down or your team down because of your...
Every week on the pitch.
I know. It's not that bad.
No, seriously, I would go when I shouldn't have been all the time.
When we beat Chelsea in the FA Cup with Bradford, the club took us to Portugal.
Right.
And they basically took us for a piss up. They basically said at their sailboat they were still training. So we had a curfew the curfew was at 1 o'clock in the morning or something like that, but you still had to be back at 1 o'clock in the morning to train the next day at 10. Me and Big Gaz McKenzie, I think we rocked back at the hotel at something like 4 in the morning or something like that. And to be fair, when we walked into the hotel at 4 in the morning, the manager was sitting there and seen us come back, I was shitting myself. Like, and how many times have you had that one with the manager where, say it's you're training on a Friday or something, you're out the squad because you've done something wrong, and he'll say, I'll see you Monday. Yeah. And they'll make you sweat for the 3-4 days. I think these boys need to wait 10 days before the manager's going to speak to them. By the way, they will 100% be fearing for their career. 100%.
Will they get a second chance?
I think they should.
Yeah.
I think they should. I read what, I listened to what Derek said on Thursday's podcast, and I can see where he's coming from, and you can see he means what he's saying, but I know Nathan Patterson, right? And he's in there because how well he's done in training, his attitude in training, whether he's not been in the squad, he's been in the squad, he's been told to do 2 sessions a day, go and train with the youth team or travel to England to play with the under-18s on a Sunday, and his attitude's been spot on. He's made one mistake. I don't think he should lose his career off of this one mistake. What I will say is players across the country, myself included, is you need to start learning from other people's lessons though, because it's going to come a time where the First Minister or somebody's going to stop football off the back of this, because it's been sort of 5-6 incidents now.
Hopefully.
They said there's X amount of strikes, and I know it's difficult for everyone. It's difficult for Joe Bloggs out there that's got a normal job, Joe Bloggs that's not got a job.
Is that who he's been speaking to, Joe Bloggs?
Is that who's done your deals? But you just got to learn these lessons, because I think the next time it happens are going to be severe consequences. But I wouldn't like to see someone that I know how good his attitude is and how well he trains day in, day out, I wouldn't want to see him lose his job off a one mistake. He's 19. Do you know what I mean?
Do you think he will? Do you think they will get a second? I know Andy hopes that they do, but do you think they will, Kev?
I think the boy Patterson will.
I don't.
Because of his
Right,
age. I think he's got youth on his side. Whereas who's the other one?
No, Bassey as well. I think he's 19. Bassey.
Personally, Patterson, he is just like a human being, and Andy's right with the thing saying like we all make mistakes. He's just tried to do something and thought he would get away with it. We've all tried to do things like that, and there's loads of things we have gotten away with. He got caught, unfortunately, but I don't think it's his suffer. If we go back to the Davy Martindale, the things that he did back in the past, he's had a second chance and he's making great strides with that. So there's no reason why the young boy Patterson shouldn't get another opportunity.
I'm not saying, listen, people are right, but they're of course they're what they're saying, but don't be jumping out the bush, Simon, because everybody else is fucking going out every weekend. And I'm seeing these people writing, disgrace, you're going out as well, fucking steaming every weekend, spreading it, if you want to call it that. So don't
See on his point,
way.
right, and that's a very, very good point, right?
What, so the people that are criticising him, you mean?
Aye,
Simon,
every weekend, so...
Simon, there's loads of people breaking rules in this era we're in now, okay? But see when you're in the public eye, you get caught. But see wee Davy down the road, that nipped round to his mates for a pint, nobody's bothered about wee Davy. But see, because it's a Rangers player, sorry?
Davy Martindale?
No wee Davy Martindale.
Or just any
Just any wee Davy,
sorry, yeah.
or Burnley, or fucking Geordie, whatever. Any wee random jock. Nobody's bothered about them breaking the rules, but whereas when it's a football player who's in the public eye, it becomes a big thing. And I think that's the problem.
Then it's wrong what they done. So
Aye, it is wrong.
Yeah.
No, it is.
But-
Because what on the other side, where I do agree with other people, is the fact of the matter is if they went into training
That's
next
the
day
one.
Aye.
and never
didn't know.
obviously didn't get caught,
That was
and
brilliant.
then eventually came down the line that they were in.
What was that?
And you're
thing
going
that
to
you-
Thursday's Europa League game
How did they
with
get
potentially
caught?
half a squad need to self-isolate.
Yeah.
What was that thing you spread about Lennoxtown through the till?
Oh, aye.
No, it was
yourself?
spread about Glasgow, was it no?
Aye.
Club India, wasn't it?
How did they get caught? That'd have been unbelievable.
Did you not tell me you heard there was mayor at the party or not?
Somebody told me that.
So, it was what?
It was mayor actually at the party. said to me, I heard there was a good 12 of them.
What age is Patterson?
19,
What age is Bassey?
20,
What age is Zunga?
28.
Doesn't make sense. He'd have had other 28-year-olds there beside him.
Think so?
Aye.
So you're saying if he is hanging about 18, 19, that's a bit weird, isn't it?
Aye. It's a
I
bit
thought
strange.
it was a weird one as well. Not even that, it's just a weird combination of pals. By the way, here's what I need to ask you this. What's the weirdest best mate combination you've seen in a football team where you just think, how are they best mates?
Derek, Duncan Ferguson and Carlo Ancelotti. Mate, that blows my mind.
aye,
What the
true.
fuck do they speak about? Remember Koki Mizuno?
Who?
Ginger. I
Okay,
think he's
Mizuno.
opposite Lenny. Ginger.
That's because, do you know why that is? Because him and Mark Miller, who's a fucking screwball for Greenock, they two got really pally, right? And he couldn't speak much English.
Oh, so
And
he told me.
Mark Miller would tell him things. He'd go up to Lenny and say stuff like that, and he used to go up to Danny McGrain, and Miller would get him to do that to Danny McGrain.
No
He
way.
used to
Didn't he have
say Jane
fucking
Collins, used to say to
clues?
Lenny, I can find Ginger. Couldn't speak English.
It was so strange. Him and Mark Miller used to kick a bit together. That was,
That's a good
a weird one. Another one was Paddy McCourt and Mark Wilson. That was a
Bizarre.
weird partnership. Paddy was like,
Jack
loved a drink and Willow, but then Paddy pure switched Willow, didn't he?
Willow hadn't touched a drink until Paddy came in.
Okay.
He drank every night.
Who's yours?
What was other strange ones? I'm
But
trying to think.
At Rangers, Sean Goss, 18-year-old for London, and Big Herrera, Big Eddie Herrera,
Did they like
28-year-old
you,
Mexican, like quietest guy in the world. So a
quiet?
28-year-old Mexican, pure quiet guy, and an 18-year-old for London used to go to Dubai together. And all that. It was
What, just the two of them?
just the two of them.
No
just the
chance.
two of them.
That's weird. I don't like that. Do you?
And like two completely different personalities as well.
There's a
I
rumour-
found that
There's a
madness.
rumour you and Big Craig Gordon are quite tight off the part.
I mean, Big Guy used to we game of snooker here and there.
Him and Fraser Forster's a weird one. They were pally.
Aye.
That's strange.
Very close. But he done his, didn't he, when he went to the Prem? Stopped talking to us.
What, he
Aye,
just
sure.
patched you?
That's just Origana, but I don't know if it was the time, obviously. What I'd done, they wanted to keep a distance, do you know what I mean?
Who was the other one? You said Mastorovic and who was good pals? Mastorovic and was it KL?
Kyle, two of them,
They
mate,
hated you, didn't they?
despise me. I mean, I remember the one, I need to get that picture. I've said that story. I remember I sat in the bus, sat in his seat, and he was like at me, get off the seat. Mate, didn't he let me sit beside him? How bad is that?
What did you say?
Done it.
You done it?
Aye. No, moved seat. Yeah, but how bad is that though? First team player, mate, he used to wash his balls not in front of people.
Who Mastorovic? What about any weird friendships that big names, Kevin? Nah? I'm trying to think who else at Celtic were weird friends.
It's because every football club's got like wee cliques.
Yeah.
But some of the friendships just don't add up, man.
Ewan Murphy's a bit.
No, but mate, Muff's a great guy, man.
Great guy.
Lenny and Chaduri were tight, weren't they?
That was weird. Wasn't it?
That was strange.
You're at it
No,
now.
I'm sure they used to like breakdancing that in the dressing room, didn't they?
I didn't see that, but no, they generally were tight, eh?
That was weird.
I always thought that Danny Dyer and Mike Dean was weird, but then we eventually found out.
Found
it
Came out.
By the
so-
way, Dino's starting the movement with the refs, isn't he? We'll come to that in the
Mate,
English
I know.
pod.
Can't wait to that.
Actually, have I been refed off that English ref any use now?
No.
He's an oddball, mate. I remember him.
What
Is
the
it-
guy-
is it-
I think they've now got an underground club.
Ah, get like Fight Club.
Fight Club.
Exactly.
Ref Club.
Aye. And obviously you know what the rule is, but we're actually starting to find out for different sources. So.
That's strange, innit? He's come out when Mike Dean's fucking went away, and that big guy's come out and attacked somebody.
Pressure's getting to money,
Yeah.
threats.
What?
It's
Can you
exciting,
get
can't we talk about
that's a good question about the friendships, though.
I'm trying to think there's been loads of weird ones, man.
I'm trying to think who else was about. We'll maybe come back to that.
Like,
Right,
there's some that just add up, like,
You and Scott Fox is up there with the weirdest of all time.
me and Foxy, that was weird.
what's
He
he
just
like?
took me in for my digs because I lived in digs in Airdrie, and every day without fail I'd block the toilet. I don't know why, mate. I wasn't even a big shiter that. I'd block the toilet. So I used to sit in my room and I could hear the old lady coming up the stairs, and she would go in the toilet and she'd be, Dave, he's done it again. And the old guy would have to come up and unblock the toilet, and then they're like to me, you need to move it, like you're unblocking the toilet every day. So Scott Fox died on the road, so I went and lived with him, his dad and his 4 brothers, mate, in Airdrie. But you're right, me and Fox.
By the way, me and Mido, that's probably one.
You and who?
Me and Mido for a strange
Mido's
relationship.
Were you
aye.
actually tight with him?
It was a summer, it was my second summer was it my first? It was my first summer. I was built at that, and Middlesbrough put me on like a gym programme, and he was in Fat Club at the same time.
Fat Club.
So both of us had to come in at 8 in the morning. I had to have a gym programme, he'd have a spin class, and we ended up just getting pally because I had obviously just signed. He was trying to help me out in that and just get me to know everyone. And he was honestly, he was an absolute legend, but he was a screwball.
With the big tattoos?
A legend, but the worst attitude of all time at that period. Oh, he had the worst
He was a big
attitude
arse,
ever.
didn't he, Mido?
Massive arse.
Would he go? Would he talk about his money in that?
Oh, aye. I told you he tried to buy the club, didn't I? But he hated the manager that much, he tried to
Strachan,
buy the
right?
club to sack
Was it
Strachan.
Stratton?
Aye. He was an absolute
Stratton again, a bit, wasn't he?
crackpot. But I think his dad or something was like Prince of Egypt. Or
Yeah. Would Stratton go mad at him?
He would just not even care about him, just
That's
completely
not-
bomb him. But Mido just had that attitude where he's just had all the money in the world.
I've told you
didn't he?
before, in fact, the weirdest friendship I've ever seen, Derek Riordan and Tommy Gravison.
No way. I could not.
But I've never told you, all through I love Call of Duty.
Aye.
So Tommy was like number 2 in the world at Call of Duty. He had like the second most hours played in the world. He'd set up to like 6 in the morning playing, but Deeks played it. So we were in Ireland for pre-season, and they would sit up all night playing Call of Duty, and then they'd come down to the reception in the morning, and you'd be knackered, and Tommy's like, tell them, Deeks, tell them about my kills last night. And Deeks would be like, aye, Tommy done this, done that. And Tommy's like, you're not doing it justice, lad. And Tommy would like grab somebody and start like pretending to stab him. And I was doing this last night, lads. Pretending to stab somebody in the neck.
Wow.
Call of Duty.
Do you know what's a weird one?
Him and Deeks were tight.
McGeady and Eto.
That is a weird one. But McGeady's always pals with
The big.
because he was pals with Tommy as well.
Ah.
So he
Would
always
you-
gets in toes with the...
You must be trying like a bear to get Gravison on here.
Nah.
He's going
He's going to punch fuck at
He's
me,
after
mate.
him. He's been messaging people to say, I'm going to sort Simon out.
Aye. Because
But
you tell
I'm-
nice stories.
I'm just going to Delta. I'm going to get Delta.
I'd get
Sort him out.
Mike.
Oh, Mike Dean.
Get Dino.
I wonder if Dino's got a Tommy G story.
Aye, we'll have.
Do you think we could get Dino on? Would they come on?
Aye. I just want him to be able to talk about his arse stadium.
Nah, the dark side. What about, who was Niall Quinn's best mate at Sunderland? No jokes. I'm just obsessed with Niall Quinn. Is him and Phillips type?
Aye, they were actually, aye. He was friends with everybody, but
Was he?
he was like the club captain that organised everything. So he was. Kev Phillips was tight. Alec Ray and Kev Phillips, they were quite tight.
Right.
Kev Phillips had a love for Rangers, so Alex obviously got.
Oh, did
a
he?
toe
Kevin
with
Phillips?
that.
Yeah,
Aye,
like Rangers, didn't he?
he got a toe with that, and nah,
Were you tight with Big Titus? Big Titus Bramble?
tight as shambles. Nah. Who else? I don't know. I was part of that. I was part of it. Like a story like you when in the gym, Andy. Sorry, Tommy Meyer, the goalkeeper. Remember Tommy Meyer?
I played with Everton as well.
Me and him became,
Thomas
like,
Meyer,
me and
yeah.
him became quite pally in the gym because I was injured, he was injured, and he was trying to, I fucking hated the gym, and he was trying to get me to bench press things, and I was like, Tommy, fuck off with this shit. But nah.
Aye, similar Danny Coyne.
It's always as the boys you're injured when you end up.
Danny Coyne, he was like a 38-year-old third choice goalie. There was about a time he used to take me boxing. I ended up dead pal with him. I was only about 18 at the time. He's like 20 year older than me, but I think he's goalie coach at Shrewsbury now.
Me and Hartley were tight. Me and Paul Hartley, and then he obviously ended up. He used to pick me up for training every morning. He used to only wear Armani gear.
Did he?
And he would never get it. I got that. What kind of jeans are they? Boss, he'd be like, fucking Armani. Every day. All he done was wear Armani. But he'd always ask what was going on with in the youth team dressing room and that.
Would you
But
get
then he
him
was
for
my
a
manager
coffee?
at Dundee and didn't get on as well. What?
Would you get with him for a coffee or dinner right now?
We would he came to Paul Caddice on the 21st, like we Ned's kicking about for Kelly and Zico came, Bolville Bridge Hotel.
Because I
standing in Magnus.
know we'll probably need to move on at a point, but obviously I've got a lot of time for Ollie McBurney when I was at Bradford with him. He was best pals with Leroy Ferrer at Swansea. Best pals. They would like go
There's a player as well.
they would go to like, I think they would go on trips together and that, obviously all the Instagram stories, Snapchat stories, and I always found that I did weird relationship.
I was tight with my best mate in football was, remember James Collins that played with Hibs for a bit?
Aye.
He squared up to Terry Butcher's goalie coach. He got done for pissing over the balcony at Cheltenham. Remember that?
That's right, he did, didn't he?
He used to do stuff like that. Instead of going to the toilet, he just pissed over the balcony at Cheltenham. I think he maybe pissed on somebody, but me and him used to go on holiday and that with the birds and that together. He was a great guy.
Good guy. I like that.
That was really good actually, wasn't it?
Interesting, aye.
Could we
Let's see
segment?
if anyone else out there, any other stories that can
Weird
come to these
friendships.
ones. Aye, weird friendships. I'd like to know that. I think that would be interesting.
Even just in general life, there's weird
aye.
friendships.
Do you know what's the weirdest friendship of all time? Josh Windass and Michael Beale. I don't know if Josh Windass is bullshitting me here, but he says he speaks to Michael Beale.
Still text Pedro all the time, aye. There you go, that's up there. That's right up there. Still text him all the time. You should screenshot me messages and that, like, still texting him years down the line.
Strange,
Just what you up to and all that.
Josh Windass is a strange boy though.
I like him,
Mad
but
one.
he is. He's strange. Talking to friendships, your mate Scotty Allen. How come you're pals? You grew up together?
Grew up together, aye. Went to the same school together, families know each other. Probably my oldest, but I've known him all my life.
With Scotty, it's no chance of getting a bird, man.
Aye, it's too good looking, isn't he? But aye, great guy. Obviously, known about that for a long time and it's horrible, man. Just remember when he phoned me and told me, obviously he got a heart scan and he get told he can't play football again. So it was hearing one of your best pals say that to you.
So did he think he would never play again?
Did they get
Aye, that was the initial diagnosis of the heart scan.
Years ago,
By the way, before I continue here, he said that in the interview, didn't he?
Aye.
So I'm not revealing any. So phoned us and just gutted for him, man. So I know how much football means to him. It's been his life since he was a wee guy. All he's got, like, probably like the most is, probably never thought about doing anything else in his life. And to be told that you could potentially need to stop playing at 29, it's devastated for him. Thankfully, seems as if he's got a second opportunity for a second specialist. It seems as if he's got a chance to keep continuing, and it would be a travesty because for me, one of the most talented players in the country, hands down. I think that Hibs and Jack Ross and that were brilliant with him for the get-go, so I think that helped him a lot. And he's lucky that he's got a good close support of friends and family that have tried to support him through it. But obviously, it goes without saying, just wish him all the best and continue in his career because he's a top man, top player.
How did they know about it?
I think it was just a standard heart scan like you get.
Was it?
Obviously, I think you get it. I don't know how often you get it. I got one in the summer again. I think most clubs, I don't know if it's yearly or every 2 years or something like that, has basically flagged up that there was just a bit of irregularity, and he had to go for an MRI and went to see I think this guy that he went to see was like the top specialist in London or something like that, and came back and basically the guy told him that if you keep playing, there's a serious chance that you could.
So is that just recently that happened, like, or is he always known his whole life that he's had something?
No, just recently, literally a couple of months into the season. I remember.
Fair play to him for like trying to come back and play, because like me personally, if that was me, I'd be panicking like every time I maybe raise my heart level or something.
You raise your heart level, just fucking get off the couch, don't you?
But it's like you're saying, though, it'd be so easy for him. I think every player's got insurance in case stuff like that happens. It'd be so easy to him just to take his insurance and and obviously try something else, but he loves football. It's something he's done all his life every single day, and he wanted to get a second opinion, get a second go. So obviously buzzing from that he's got a chance.
And he's going to keep playing?
Aye.
Brilliant.
Jack Ross is raging tonight. Jack Ross was probably the best looking in that squad. He got his back.
That's why he
The
was.
rest of them are Hibs are not the best looking squad. Good player to have in the final at the end of the season. That'll be something different that they've not got.
Aye, top player. Like I said, technically in my opinion one of the best players in the country.
Were you surprised when he went to Celtic? Can we ask you? Were you surprised when he went to Celtic? Do you want to talk about it?
I wouldn't say surprised, obviously I'm gutted because thought I'd have the chance to play with one of my best mates at Rangers at the time, so obviously it was a decision he made. I think he'll probably be able to answer the questions better than I can, but I was gutted at the time because I thought it was going to happen. It would come to Rangers and get a chance to play with him there, so I can't really say anything
He'll still be at Rangers now?
Do you think what?
He'll still be at Rangers now if he'd went?
I don't know, do you think, Kev?
I don't know, because when he went to Celtic, was it no on the back of like he was a potential. It was his potential that they were signing on. Hopefully, he would go on and do bigger things. Celtic never got the opportunity, so it would have been the same. So, what year was it that he was linked to Rangers? What era?
It was the same year.
2015, aye.
So before.
At the end of the day,
So at the beginning of Rangers,
It was Warburton, wasn't it? Warburton, because
Aye.
Warburton and Stubbs had a big falling out over it.
at the end of the day, he tried his best to make it happen. I mean, he handed in the transfer request. He wanted to make it happen, and obviously Hibs weren't allowed to do. Weren't they willing to do it because Rangers were in the same league at the time? And
would he have been wasted on the lower leagues or like at the Warburton? What was Warburton? Was
No, I
Warburton
think had championship, wasn't it?
Championship then, so.
He'd been brilliant under a team like that.
Aye, and you never know. It's all ifs and buts. I always believe that the cycle of life is destined for you, and that's just how it will be. And the choices that he made and where he is, that's where he's supposed to be in this day and age. It's all saying the ifs and buts and whatever, but good footballer. That day he was on the interview and that, very quiet, but a very humble guy. And I personally would wish him all the best, and hopefully he can get some kind of finished his career, and hopefully he can look back and reflect and think I did the best that I possibly could.
Tell you what was looking good after that settlement with the old bank account with that. Oof.
Not
Tremendous,
fucking problem
right?
for that boy.
knows what it is, but
Nah,
Do you think he's
chance.
dropped more G's than you?
no chance.
Nah.
Money,
Are you just dropping G's on the regular?
Right, mate, no joke.
You just dropping G's on the regular, fam?
Aye, bro. No joke, right? See, Sky and I've been in contact with Sky.
Sports.
contact you.
Take Boydie's place.
Not to go on, be boy.
Go on with Boydie.
That'd be unreal, eh? This isn't a joke, is it?
Right.
I can't.
Who contacted you, like Shanley?
No,
Charles
no,
Charles Patterson.
Somebody-
Charles Patterson. Sky Sports.
That would be
Think of
unbelievable,
that.
wouldn't it? Me and Boyd on a Sunday.
You're taking
good,
Brian
mate.
Swanson's job after he said Tuchel was horny question.
Mate, imagine me and Boyd there.
Yeah, that'd be
Wow,
good.
it'd be unbelievable viewing. I'd have him all. See if he's coming with that big smile as he drop it.
Smile at
Check out the
Fraser.
Carragher Neville, a Scottish football. A bigger.
Bigger. Oh, that could be unbelievable for viewers, that.
But would you have it, like you're saying this now to us, but if it actually came out with Boydie, would you pull him up for things?
No chance, I'd have to keep smiling. I hope Rangers win the league.
Right, we need to get into Motherwell because it's one of the worst performances I've seen.
Aye. It's up
Zero,
there.
what did you say, Kev? One shot on
One
target.
shot,
I think
I
St
think.
Johnstone had over 20. Just
they were
continued
just-
to try and play it.
Was that the issue, Simon? We were just trying to constantly pop it out for the back?
Yeah, and St Johnstone just kept pressing the man and taking the ball from them.
Weird one though, because they were. I've watched a few of their games. They were very good against Ross County. They were good against Kelly, and then obviously their performance against Hamilton and then St Johnstone at the weekend. So
But do you
was
think
a weird one.
has he maybe underestimated the league, thinking that
Potentially,
You can't
because
just come up and do
I think he even said that himself in an interview after the Hamilton game. It's been a new experience for him because he's never coached in the league before. But similar to probably what we're saying about Tommy Wright, as he came in and tried to do too much too early. He's not had a pre-season. He's not brought in his own players to try and change their style of play or whatnot. But I think fans will hate me saying this because it's something that people hate when they say, but surely he's got to learn for stuff like that and maybe kind of do certain things with his team and change his style of play or whatnot. But I've watched Hamilton a few times and I've always thought they were decent. What I will say is, you mentioned it earlier, like they missed it, Declan Gallagher at the back. Because the standard of goals they conceded was poor.
do you think we sound like dinosaurs criticising for trying to play it for the back?
No,
I think you've got
that's
to. I think you've got to. You said it earlier on, the leaders on the park. I think that's where you've got to either come in at half time and say, look, Gaffer, this ain't working. because it's happened many a time where I've been in a dressing room and you've realised that things aren't working, and as a captain I've sat there and say, look Gaff, it's not working, that's not happening, that's not working, let's just revert back to something a bit more straightforward. But they continue to keep doing it and they continue to get punished for it. So is the manager being too stubborn, or somebody not taking the bull by the horns on the park and just maybe changing it themselves? Because you know yourself when you're playing a match and it's not going your way, you start shouting to other people, come on, we need to start doing this, or we need to just... Sometimes you just bypass the manager and you go with what you think is right on the park at that moment in time. Whereas I felt with Motherwell, and I felt sorry for wee Robbie Crawford. I know Robbie Crawford, and everyone was trying to go through Robbie in the middle, and it just kept breaking down. He kept either a bad touch or trying to do that 30-yard pass over the top when it could just be a wee 5-yard pass. And even I think there was a highlighted point in the sports scene at the end. Shelley Kerr was saying that about St Johnson's high press. It was because of St Johnson's high press and they were doing this. Motherwell actually popped the ball about quite well at the end of the match. It was just a snap pass at the end that caused, had the ball been better, they actually might have been up that right-hand side and it could have been an opportunity for them. I just think the pitch and the style that Scottish football is at the moment, it's maybe not the surface to be trying to pop the ball, but maybe just every now and then mix it up. And I don't think
I can't believe you just let him interrupt you before that question there.
Sorry.
I thought you were going to...
Did he talk early there?
I think you know he did.
See on that... Is she still wearing that fucking All Saints tag?
He does like a wee All Saints stuff.
Who? Graham Alexander?
No, having it.
What is he doing?
Tight knit, innit? It's like quite tight and...
He's not the man for the job. He's no Simon. Fucking walking about with that silly tap on. Take it out. Just sit with your flat belly out.
Just stand at the side of the top out.
Tell him, Slaney.
I'm fucking...
And that's your pitch he's trying... But it's your pitch, you're not happy that he's trying to play on it?
Simon, it's not the pitch to do that. Do you know
What's
what I mean?
happened to it? Because it was one of the better pitches, wasn't it?
Simon, what did I say?
He's got too much work on.
Come out and say it was me that bought your pitch, tell the truth to the people and I'll get it put smoothly again, Simon. They've yet to do that and I started getting in digging it. Simon, you know with what? Not at all, Simon.
But on a serious note, Paul, because I know you like to see nice football in Scotland.
Absolutely. But yet again, I think it's good, but I'll argue to the death of it, have we got the players to do it? And they've not. You have not got the players to be popping the ball out for the back, take your All Saints polo off, Simon, and get back to hard, gritty football.
What would you like to see him, like a Slazenger polo or something?
I just love this genuine suit trousers belt on with knee tackle. That would be outstanding for him. You'd get a reaction out of somebody, but wouldn't you?
Jake, see if a team wants to play it for the back, Jake, you could play from centre half.
See, this is unbelievable you've gone to this. Defenders are now, you may as well bring a defender up now to defend. It's only if you're good in the ball. Yeah. It's a lot of nonsense.
Ricky Lamy doesn't want to be taking the ball in the 6-yard box, does he? He wants to defend.
No.
Ricky Lamy thought that fucking ball was a fucking bomb. I swear to God, man.
I know, but that's not his game. It's not his
fault. He's been told to do that, but that's where have a bit about yourself and say that this isn't fucking on. I'm going to get that ball up the park and I'm going to squeeze us up and we'll start to press St Johnson in their half. Whereas because they're sitting back trying to pop things off, that's just inviting St Johnson in to come and take the ball off them. And even if Motherwell were able to get the ball in behind them, I don't think Motherwell had too much going forward that was really going to really trouble St Johnson in any way. St Johnson just totally capitalised on... I was trying to figure out, one Motherwell that bad or was St Johnson that good? And I think I've got to give a bit of praise to both. Yeah. A bit of praise to both. St Johnson were good because they kept the ball better. Motherwell were just poor in possession and that's all it was. And I think they got punished.
I'm going to ask you as well because obviously Warburton wanted you to play it for the back. Was it an instruction for the start no matter what, play it for the back? Aye, but the managers, they have different instructions. And I think it worked for the majority of us. People used to always say
plan B,
they were a bit uneasy about we should have a plan B. Not one person can find me a clip where we can see did I go for playing it. Generally they couldn't. There would have been maybe certain issues with it. No, I tell you, they can. Hearts and Tynecastle. Is that the one we win this? Aye, and me. There was one with me as well. I think Wes threw it to us and I've went to turn over my right hand shoulder and Jamie Walker came for the blind side and took it and smashed it in the bottom corner. So I lied, there was, but they couldn't find many because I think actually it worked for us well. I think it was because it suited the players. I think it was a way that we started probably a lot of our attacks. I think a lot of our issues was probably similar to Celtic and it was cross balls and set pieces. Yeah. We were pretty poor for that.
But
So would Warburton never want you for goal kicks to kick the ball?
no, he used to say that if you kick the ball long, you're putting possession up for grabs. That was what he used to say. Aye, so that's what he used to say.
So
And
then
like I said,
are we wrong about Motherwell then? Is it the right way to do it?
But if you've not got the players to do it, you can't do it.
but what I will say is right is so she's talking about that Tynecastle game. So Hearts were superb in the game, deserved to win. I think it was Robbie Nielsen who was the manager at the time, and they went man for man across the pitch for goal kicks. So they went. We used to, so we were 4-3-3. For goal kicks, we used to keep the front three high and narrow. We used to push the fullbacks high and wide. Obviously, bottom two split holding midfielder and just create a big, massive triangle all the pitch. But they literally just stood on us man for man across the pitch and told us to kick it long. The pitch was shocking, and we would still try and play it. So that's where it was like, no, that is wrong. That's obviously a matter of opinions. For me, there's got to be some game management. You're like, we can't play out your pitch is shite, man for man out of the pitch.
As a player, I actually hate, though, I'm saying that, I hate when you go long.
Yeah, of course you do, but I think it needs to be done in some...
But listen, we're saying that Scottish football, have we got the players to do it, mate? The Prem, Liverpool have conceded about 5 goals this season trying to do it. And you can't tell me they've not got the players to do it.
Yeah.
It's just, some teams obviously try and count and turn it from risk into reward. Like you said earlier, I think it's got to be a players thing where it's
Players'
like,
decision.
If imagine what's the players out for the back and teams go man for man face, then gets up the pitch and go long. There's nothing up there. Then the game settles down and you play again.
It's like Di Canio wanted us to play it. See, at first he came in, he's like, okay, we're going to get the ball, split, play it out from the back. Mate, we lost our first 5 games. And he's like, right, we can't play like this. Turn it for the first 20 minutes and then we'll go and play after that and we win the league. But if we kept fucking doing what he done, we'd have got relegated.
If managers are doing the homework and they see that Motherwell's, that's the way they're trying to play, if you're going there with St Johnstone, you're thinking, right, this is the way they're going to go. They're going to try and play it from the back. So we're going to press. And it's all right, even if Motherwell had the players to play it from the back. See if St Johnstone have dialed themselves in a wee bit better than what Motherwell's dialed themselves in. If they press really, really well, it's difficult for any team. And that's just football. Yeah. That's just one coach getting one up on the other because he's planned his team better to press Motherwell than Motherwell have done going the other way. And it's just it's a correction of each another where Callum Davies has got the plaudits because he knew that Motherwell were going to play for the back and he set up his team to make that no work. And Motherwell have prepped their team to play it from the back, but they've not done it to the level that St Johnstone's done it the other way. And it's basically just went like that and St Johnstone's came out on top. Had Motherwell been better in possession, they might have made St Johnstone look stupid, but they didn't. And that's just football.
Yeah, good point. See how we're talking about players sorting it for themselves. So picture this. You're playing left mid for Motherwell. He's got a goal kick. Craigan splits in the 6-yard box to go and take the ball.
I'd be sick
what
for
are you
a start.
shouting? Four
left. Aye, watch your fucking head to the crowd. Superb, Simon, that was beautiful.
What would you?
I'd be sick for a start.
If I seen him, pitch or off the pitch?
Both. If I seen him open his body up, I would be sick for a start as keeper. Do not tell him to fucking put his body straight.
Have you ever played with a centre back that can proper play it for the back?
Aye, Tommy Helmer.
Tommy Helmer,
German international. Oh man.
Sunderland.
He was that, he came in and he was bigger than everybody in terms of his presence. But he just didn't fit in with the first team, so the manager stuck him in the reserves with us. Fuck me, man, just give that guy the ball. It just did not matter. He was never under pressure at any point. Cruyff's drag backs a lot, just stroking things out, and he's like, fucking played in World Cups and I'm going to play against Aston Villa reserves.
The worstest players that think they can play, defenders that think they're good players, they're the most frustrating bastards.
Who's been one of the frustrating bastards?
Stuart Finlay.
Big Stu knows what he's all about.
I like Finlay, just like...
I'm joking, sorry Stu.
No, he's a good player. Just trying to think of centre half. I think you see it all over the place.
Toshney.
Aye.
Ross Tokley.
He knew his skill ratio, you know what I mean, Andrew?
What about was Reynolds like a product to Craigan?
Yes. Both shite.
Has Reynolds got the curly toe? Reynolds a great guy as well, isn't he?
Aye, Simon, nice guy again. Yeah, it's nice again. He ain't going to say anything to me.
You've lost the plot, man, haven't you?
Struggling today.
You've lost the plot.
Struggling today.
Is it because Rangers was out in Europe?
It's all the stuff that's going on, Simon. It shouldn't be allowed. Fucking hell, Sturgeon called it fucking league off. You know what I mean, Simon?
Right, just on Alexander, I'm not saying that he is going to be
go.
I'm not saying he is going to be a a mistake. But have you ever had an experience where a manager has came in and straight away you thought, right, this isn't
Aye, fucking have a lot of them.
I didn't when he first came in, but when I first went into Celtic, I've never witnessed anything like it with Tony Mowbray.
Aye, same.
Mate,
I know
never
Tony
in my
Mowbray
life, and
straight
it's
away
no.
as well.
Tony, I heard that, listen, you might be a great guy or whatever, but when I went in, I have never seen a place like this. See the training or it was so flat. And I think I've said this, I looked at him and he was just storing his hood up and just like that with the Rangers hitting off it, and Peter Grant and Venus were just either side him, like,
cuddling?
Just almost, and I was just like, I've never seen this. The place is just done. But I can't think of a manager that's come in, Simon, and you've got a cracker, manager, haven't you?
Who Paul Hart came in at Swindon, mate. We were bottom of the league.
Where's he again?
To be fair, Paul Hart's got a fucking unbelievable record as a manager. But we were a shit show at that time, and he came in and we were bottom of the league, hardly scored a goal. And he basically told us he'd get us playing like Brazil. First day, mate, right? For 30 minutes we practiced back heels.
No chance.
Mate, I swear to God.
No way.
I swear, in the warm-up you had to run and just back heel it, and so you had to be on the lookout for somebody back heel it, and then when he back heeled it you had to sprint and go and get the ball. Well, that's what we worked on, back heels.
You're joking,
mate.
man.
See, he hated me, right? He pulled me in. I used to write shit on Twitter, like sick stuff, when I first was at Swindon. He pulled me in the office. I thought he was pulling me in telling me that I'm playing on Saturday, mate. He had a full list of my tweets. And he's like, can I ask you about this one? Can't wait to get home and play topless tig with my dad.
You wrote that?
No, I wrote that, but he's been that to me. And he's like to me, is there something wrong with you? Are you sick in the head or stuff? And he was fucking raging, mate. I've never played the game because of the stuff I wrote on Twitter. But I think we scored about 2 goals in the last 10 games.
That's poor.
They practicing back heels, man. You know straight away. He told us, he used to say to centre halves, if you can't head on the ball, just elbow the centre forward in the back of the head. You're like, what the fuck are you talking about, Harry?
Here's one for you, Slaney, right? Coaching one.
Oh no.
Who was their Swindon manager? Was it Cooper?
Mark Cooper. He was.
Mark Cooper.
No, he came in after that. Mark Cooper.
So Bradford, right? I was at Bradford at the time, playing away to Swindon. It's the smallest diagram in the world.
Would they pop it under Mark Cooper?
Oh my days!
You
You're
know
joking? I've never seen football like it.
Brighton,
I've never seen football like it. What's his name?
Luke Williams, who then he was the coach. It's Luke Williams.
Right, might be. So we knew the way Swindon played, right? It's the first time I've ever seen it, and I've never seen this in football since. See, Swindon used to pass it for the back, right? So we were like, right, we've got to press him, right? We're going right after him. So this is obviously right back 2 centre halves, right? And we've just pushed our 2 strikers up against them, like they're not playing out for the back. And you know what they usually do? They usually clip it to full back. He did that, right? So they would run this centre half up the pitch, right? Ran the full back up the pitch, and see this centre half. I'm trying to do it so everybody can see. See this centre half? He would run in the box across the side of the pitch. See, because as a striker, you can't go in the box. So the striker had to run the box as he ran through the box, and then he just passed it to the right centre half and named the near him.
Did you win a good team?
Did you get in the game?
That's what they done in the game. It was honestly, I've never seen it. So the 2 centre halves would be split, right, basically on the touchline. Strikers would be obviously trying to push him to the edge of the box, but the centre half would just run across the box, and that right centre half would just sprint up the pitch. Left back would come down, and they just played it. I've never seen it before in my life.
They popped it. Was it the boy Kazim that played as a centre?
Luongo
Kazim,
and the best player I've played in League One. We talked about the best player I've played in. I forgot his name now. Big, like 6'10". West London.
He went to QPR. Ben Godwin.
How hot is that?
Ben Godwin.
What a player. Have you ever had a manager do the old talking about set pieces there? Have you ever had a manager when your manager's gone, man? He's trying to think of new shit. He's like, right, see for the corner on Saturday, we're going to do the one where somebody runs it and roll the ball and pretend you've not touched it, and then come out and then suddenly go. See when a manager does that, mate.
Game over.
Pack your bags, get in your motor, and fuck off.
I've never had that.
You're gone. You never had somebody doing that?
Did you see that?
That was a Paul Hart. He made a big announcement as well. Lads, I've got this set piece that we're going to do on Saturday. And we were like, we know what's coming here, right? Somebody's going to run it, roll the ball, put it. Done it on the Saturday, mate. The team took the ball off us, fucking ran out of the pitch.
Mate, did you see the one on Twitter the other week where it was like they were all stunned at the corner of the box here? The corner taker was here, and all the players were here. What was that?
Just put the ball in the box.
We used to do that one at Wolves. You know when you get the free kick and they're whipping it in behind you, and you're defending, and there's a buzzword. to everybody run up.
Oh, that one, catch everyone offside. What the fuck is that as well?
McCarthy did that at Southern and at Wolves, and whatever the word was, say it was fucking magic. And Breedy would shout, magic! And you're like, oh, fucking hell, man, I've got to this.
That's
straight
awesome,
away.
mate.
And then he goes to take the free kick, and we all run it like fucking, he's not took the free kick. You're like, oh my God, man.
I wish there was managers I knew the name of. Do you know?
What? What did you just say?
I don't know.
Oh, brilliant.
What did you actually say there?
I wish you could tell us stories that Kashina or player managers you've worked under that are people are
That you know.
Is there out there and you just don't want to say them?
I've got that story about the Canio set pieces with me, remember, but I'll keep it for that. I'll keep it for the highlight.
Aye, keep that.
When we'd have with Howard Wilkinson, when he walked in the doors, we knew straight away that this guy wasn't going to keep us in the league. I mean, like, he put up the fucking 6 bits of paper with all our remaining fixtures. So say there was...
I hate that as well, mate.
So say there was 3 sheets of big fucking like flip chart paper and there was 6 games on it. He wrote all the teams down and put like a W, an L or a D for what he thought was going to happen. So I think we'll lose to that one. That's a loss. We'll get a point there and we'll get 3 points there. And by that time we're going to be sitting all right. We're in touching distance and the rest.
So you're actually already going to this game now.
Aye, and you're thinking to yourself, shite, we're getting beat. And then he puts on the fucking Geese video and you're thinking to yourself, oh my God.
Danny Wilson was the same, mate.
Then Steve, he's the experienced FA guy. He won Leeds, League One.
Good manager, huh?
Good manager, so he has got a good pedigree or background. But he brought in like the next up and coming coach in English football, which was Steve Cotterill, and he talked like as if he was drinking cider. All right, lads, let's get the train going today. And you're like, oh, for fuck's sake, man, this voice is going right through you.
Mate.
And then he's fucking sitting there doing the team talk, fit up and going, right, lads, 3 words today. Grind this one out. And you're sitting there with Premier League players like fucking Kev Phillips.
Put the flip-flops in.
See the flip-flops? I actually got them at Hearts when I signed with Hearts in 2009. I've still got my number 9 number on them.
Big man.
Good.
To be fair, I've lost a bit of tread.
Kev, see what you were saying about that thing with the remaining fixtures. I remember Danny Wilson's time at end as well. But he was opposite, mate. So he was like, you tell me what we can get here. And the boys are like, win. Southampton away, win. And it got to be the 3rd game and he went, win, and Danny Wilson went, fucking come on, lads, we've been shite all year, we're never winning these next.
Danny Wilson, what a guy he was.
Oh, he was a top man.
When I was at Hartlepool, he drives about in a white Astra, souped up with a fucking big exhaust and everything, man, stickers down the side.
Honestly, see, my first year under Danny Wilson, mate, it was like a stag do because he lived up north, he was doing it in Swindon. See, if you won a game, mate, it was just like 3 days off, I'm going up the road, and we would just go fucking...
I've heard Nigel Clough's like that.
Nah, he loves it
Nigel
as well, doesn't he?
I think he's had just an absolute booze bag, isn't he?
Loves it. Derek McInnes got his win. Paul, delighted for him?
Aye, but I don't think the Aberdeen fans will be, because I suppose it was one of the worst games in history. So that's their whole point in it, the style of play. But listen, they had to get the win, so no, I'm buzzing for them. And but
They brought their goal drought as well.
What was it 6 games?
6 games, aye. Do you think they'll come third?
No,
I think it'll be a big ask now because I think that Hibs have got a right good bit of momentum going.
Good squad, it's better squad.
Hibs squad.
Again, Aberdeen goal, set place, we talk about it, clear header. The boy, I don't know who it was.
Henry.
Was it?
Calm Henry.
The command defender that was picking him up.
Oh, didn't notice.
Poor defending, but good header. Aberdeen looked comfortable, to be fair. They didn't look like...
Just leave Kabamba on it in the box, didn't it? When Kabamba was getting somebody was shit and leave him on it. Just
let him shoot. He gets the ball, just let him shoot. Because he doesn't want to shoot.
I thought he was good.
No, I think he's a good player, mate. It's just the goals in it. It's just the goals. It's Firmino, man.
I think Tommy will have enough to keep them up. There you go.
It's that the show you said they were going down.
Kilmarnock, did I?
No, he said Motherwell and then Kilmarnock.
Then changed it to Kilmarnock are going down. I think Tommy might have to keep up.
Aye.
What about his?
Just a wee. No, I don't think he will have enough in the end. In the long run, I don't.
I was actually pleased for Derek McInnes because I think he took a fucking bit of stick recently for...
He's no luck as well, Kev. Hornby looked like he'd started well and Hornby pulls up after...
Made a very good point saying that Celtic's sold Frimpong for whatever millions and they've sold whoever it was for millions. There's no other teams on that. And how do you back that up? So he's got a point, to be fair. And there's one thing for sure, Aberdeen will keep going right to death to try and get 3rd place. And if they end up with 3rd place, how can you argue with the guy? Even if they finish 4th, considering what they've sold and what they've had to bring in and what they've had to juggle with their finances,
Fourth still Europe this year, isn't it?
It will be, because I think is the 2 over, is 1 and 2
First and second,
both
yeah.
Champions League, aye?
Yeah.
No.
Aye.
First and second
this year?
Champions League,
Yeah.
yeah.
I thought that was next
Because
year.
of the coefficient.
I thought that was next
So you were right about the coefficient.
I was
Ken.
absolutely spot on about the coefficient. Yep.
Was it? I thought that was next year.
No.
So third gets direct
Champions
into
League,
the
man.
playoff
Yeah.
round, or not?
You think Kelly could get Champions League?
Next season, aye.
Would Livy or St Johnstone get Europe for the League Cup? Or is that no count anymore? Is that
I'm not
that
too
far
sure.
down the...
Not too sure.
I thought it was a Scottish.
Right, proper football. Haaland and Mbappe in Champions League last week. 2
Wow.
freaks. Are they going to be the new Messi and Ronaldo?
It's like, right, here we go. Just before we go into that, with they two, you've got a budget of 100 million, 2 of them are worth 100 million, just say, you can only sign one, who would you sign?
Haaland.
Mbappe.
Haaland.
I think Haaland would probably be a better suit to 99% of teams, but I think Mbappe's just the best. Star. Mbappe at this point in career scored 24 Champions League goals. Ronaldo at this point has scored none.
Mbappe's playing a miles better team with better players.
Aye.
Haaland's banging goals in for a bang average.
Good point. Good point, Simon.
Average.
I know bang average, but I know it's good as Put
PSG.
Haaland in a top team, mate, he scores for
Lewandowski
fun.
done it at Dortmund, and then obviously he went to Bayern. and
But that
stopped
Dortmund
there,
team were...
But I do
I think Haaland-
just on that,
Lewandowski.
Simon, I think Mbappe did do it in my year, did do it with Monaco.
The Monaco, yeah. In the Champions League, did he?
Aye.
I think they got to the semi-finals, was it?
No.
Mbappe
Was
and
it
I'll
that
tell
far,
you what you
was
do.
it?
No, I still like, I like Haaland.
Both
of them
you
are
can't,
incredible, but-
you can't say much about it all.
I think Haaland could better any team. I think Mbappe needs certain players to suit him.
No, but that's
Does
I
that
would
make
I would
sense?
agree with that. I think it's the Messi Ronaldo. I think you could fit Cristiano Ronaldo in any team.
Aye, in any
Yeah,
team.
you could-
I don't think you could fit
financially,
Messi
aye.
in like any. Obviously, Messi
I
could
think
play
Mbappe-
for any team, but you know what I mean.
I think Mbappe would suit any team because you could have a team that's sit in and he'd be the perfect guy to go hit the counter.
Counter-attack.
Or maybe just get him centre half to play out for the back. He'd be
There you
good.
go. Do you know what I mean? Just sprint up the park.
Here's one for you, right? Why did Barcelona never sign Verratti? When Xavi in it, I fucking love
Mate,
Verratti.
can I
man.
Right, can I just mention this, right? Because this is, for me, not been talked about enough. I told my hands, I'd never heard him. The boy Paredes centre mid against
For-
Barca last week for PSG.
Where was he fit?
Don't know. Tell me.
No, I'm not too sure, but he was
Incredible.
outstanding. Him
How
and
good
Verratti
was
were
he?
outstanding. Verratti's
Good.
touch for
Verratti's
Mbappe's
good.
goal is
Here's one, and
ridiculous.
it's a real sad message I'm about to say. I think Verratti's the last type of that player out there. I really do. You look back to when I was growing up. Xavi, Pirlo, you had Scholes, Iniesta, but maybe that, the number 6.
Oh, the 6, right, okay, yeah.
Pirlo, Xavi, Scholes being that. Who was the other ones I was thinking the other day? And I don't think you've got that type of player anymore. I don't think Thiago is that. Him, Verratti, coming through.
I thought Frankie de Jong would be like that, but he struggled at Barca, hasn't he?
But see with De
Barcelona
Jong, was he not
shambles.
another one? Was he a sitter for Ajax, De Jong?
He was, but he was a ball carrier as well, so he
Yeah.
could drive with the
I
ball.
like him
but
sitting in the... But Busquets is in it, so...
Aye.
I don't think I think that midfielder's totally going out the game. You look at-
Busquets would be one of them, though.
Aye. Billy Gilmore at Chelsea, but
Yeah. So they're not going out again.
no. But, mate, how was that contradicting myself there?
He's quick out of the day on you saying,
No, it's not even. I'm constantly contradicting myself.
Good, mate. It's good. That's why we love you.
it's because you're not in the zones, Lenny.
No, that's
Get a
him
deep
in the
breath.
zone, mate. I can't do it. That's
Aye,
what you do,
that.
innit?
Aye, I like that. Wait, see my suit next week. Wait, what do you think Sky would be when I turn up with his fancy suit and all that on?
Mate, honestly, my missus said to me that you suit a tux better than anybody she's seen with your body shape and that.
Name is Bastard. Spotty Bastard.
Oh, brilliant. He's looking good as well, Kev.
Aye, yes.
Peter, somebody, I seen
Yeah, he
Peter
actually
comment
looks as if he lost a bit of weight.
I did. I actually last night, Andy, I went into the cupboard and I put on a suit on that I wore about 7 years ago at a wedding. I thought, I wonder if this will fit me. Fucking did.
Wow.
Didn't even need to fucking breathe in for the buttons.
Have said if you could sign one, so you're going Mbappe.
I go Mbappe.
Mbappe.
But both incredible.
Haaland. I go for
Haaland.
Haaland.
Can't call it, so.
Haaland's never getting a bird on it.
Did you see him get tapped
No.
at the dancing?
Oh, yeah, what about Sancho with the German accent?
Oh no.
Got another one to add.
Can't believe that
Get him
was
to
in
the
the
Premier League
topics.
podcast,
But
Andrew.
he was a proper rude boy last year, wasn't he? When he was
Aye.
doing well. Now he's
What's
doing
that?
shite, he's putting on a German accent.
Their German accent, Slim.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, but say something else, not just yeah, give us a full setting.
And then you did German at school?
No, I hated fucking
I did a
languages.
bit of German.
I'll think of what it's to say and I'll get back to you. I'll just
Is that what the horny
Say
winter
Jordan
says?
Sancho, you're one horny boy.
No, because that would be awkward. We'll keep going and I'll something cut my head and I'll say it.
Right.
Yeah.
This
Can I just say something? I'm going to say to Premier League. Thomas took. No, we'll see. I'll wait till you.
Thomas, what? Oh, we're doing that in English poddy.
I fucking fucked today, aren't I? My head's a million bolt.
Right, a story on Sports Bible. Did you see it? Fake footballer Akelrod signed for CSK Sofia 2003 based on a fake stat website he made about himself and forged agent letters he sent fell apart at the last minute after PSG fans alerted the club that he had never played for the youth team as he claimed. You ever heard somebody come up on trial and they were shite?
Aye, many.
Aye, loads.
What is it, just agents that get them in?
No, mine would be when Livy got demoted for the championship down to the bottom division and the Italian owners came in, they signed like 20 Italian players and 11, 12 of them had never kicked a ball in their life. Never. I just don't know if they were the owner's mates or whatever to just come in and give them a job, but never kicked a ball before.
My favourite story ever is Marvin Andrews told it was years ago in the interview. He says he came over here with one pair of football boots. He says, but he got here and it was fucking snowing. He says, so if you were like that, we're training indoors today, so get your running trainers on. He says, Marv says, I only had a big fucking pair of basketball trainers. And I played 5 and 6. Marv's running a big pair of basketball.
Air Jordans.
Just fucking balling in the indoor hall. Brilliant, man.
I tell you what though, see the Italian players that they signed, it produced Rafa De Vita.
Technically,
Baller.
very good Rafa De Vita.
Great player.
Is it?
What a
Very
guy
good,
as well.
mate.
What a guy,
Yeah,
Rafa
he's
De
top
Vita.
man.
One of the
but
best.
technically a very good player.
See, in terms of side, the shite players, like, see when I was at Rangers, I might be including that start, but see some of the shit that they brought
Don't
in
put yourself
that
down,
third
big man.
division. That boy fucking Stella,
Stella.
Stella, I think his fucking name is
you
Stella.
run Stella?
Curly-headed
I can't remember him.
Mate, honestly. Somebody, Francesca Stella, I think that was his name.
Actually, don't remember.
Mate, sorry before I go on. Canio used to abuse Rafa.
Did he?
I've never
I thought
actually
he loved it.
so because Rafa was at a Lazio fan, so Di Canio was his idol.
Oh,
Di Canio
right.
used to slag him for it. And see, like, if Rafa was having a beast one game, Di Canio would come in at half time and say Rafa was sitting there and went, don't pass the ball to P Hart. It's not his game today. Someone kicked him.
That would
And
kill
Rafa
you.
would just sit there like that. He's idol, absolutely. He used to call him P Hart all the time.
Yeah, do you know what Rafa? I used to go to Rafa sometimes after training on a Friday, and he used to make me this. Try it, mate. It's
Risotto?
nice. No, this is like pure basic fucking council snack. It used to be like a wrap, parma ham and cheese, and he used to just grill it in the oven and then bring it out and turn it into a wrap. It was tremendous, man.
He was a good cook. I used to go
Was
to
he?
this for dinner.
Just like a wee parma ham cheese wraps now.
Trying to be a
Mate,
bit
his
of a
technique volleying it with 2 feet is up there.
Side volley.
Side volley it with 2
Aye.
feet.
It's best headed tennis player I've ever seen.
Yeah, great touch.
Would be him.
Aye.
But P Hart.
Do you know who is the greatest headed tennis player of all time? Scott Leach.
Aye.
Unbelievable.
Does he know what to tackle it?
Aye. 2 fits the ball into the corner. No, he is unbelievable to be fair.
Is he? I like him.
There's-
His boys are good head tennis players.
Is he?
Good
There's
touch.
different
Alan
types of headed tennis players there. There's the
Aye.
side volleyer, there's the power header, there's the drop shotter, and
Alan
there's somebody who just
Johnson.
gets everything back.
Just play safe side foots it back.
Or the serve volleyers, I hate the serve volleyers, man.
Remember
Tommy
we
Butler.
played Boyd
He
in
used to
that?
play head tennis for hours after
I
tennis. See, now you wouldn't even be
that
allowed
would be
to
my
do
favourite things. I used to
Oh,
love
the
playing
best.
headed tennis.
See, when you played headed tennis in your youth team days, did you see a high net or a wee box?
We had a net.
It was like a sort of medium, no,
Medium
really
height,
medium
medium
height.
height.
It was
I
like
see,
medium.
read the one that maybe it was only a bit, maybe,
I hate the
half a
wee
metre high.
It's terrible.
I think that's better for your touch.
Tennis.
But it's like fake though, innit? You just smash a volley down
Ah, shite.
Oh, mate, Tommy Graveson's the best head tennis player of all time, without doubt.
Aye.
Overhead kick it and all that over the net, mate. It was unbelievable. Spin.
Better than Rafa.
So see, if it came to the net, mate, he would like spin it so that it bounced in
And
your
probably-
court but came back onto the net.
Oh,
So like backspin on the ball, and he was a joke at head tennis, mate.
What were you like, headed tennis?
bag of nerves.
Aye.
Bag of nerves. Serve could never get the serve in. That was always the hardest part.
I
Half
remember
volley,
your
wasn't it?
serve,
To be fair, you're alright in the Old Firm
Oh,
Special.
remember
You've got a good touch though.
we played the worst call of all time, the Randy Boyd in that.
Oh, boy, didn't that?
you watch that?
Kenny Miller.
The controversial
We
call.
know why now
that was never.
Wait, did you not beat Griff and Mikey Johnson?
Aye, beat Celtic comfortably.
That's because he didn't play head tennis anymore. I can't believe it.
Aye, mental.
I reckon
Actually,
you-
fair, I've not played head tennis since I was about 20.
Why don't we get a singles
Now
tournament?
that he's involved in open goal, we should do mixed doubles every second week or so. Get a wee league going.
Aye.
See, to be fair,
I would rather singles because I would crumble with a partner.
against
Actually, I'll go with you.
We'll
Me and
beat
Kev
anybody.
Yeah, I think Kev would be good.
He's a man.
We'll beat anybody.
He's the
I'm
man at
telling
it.
you.
I think
We'll go-
Hida would be hard to
Anybody in
handle.
that Premier League, 2 years, fancy a game against any Austria will fucking take his on.
We should
not a
take like,
problem.
the Ryder Cup.
Tell you who was unbelievable at head of tennis, Graham Murray.
Is he nuts?
Unbelievable.
No way.
I swear, unbelievable.
Alan Johnson.
He used to have an unbelievable, like, he had a good side volley, right? But he used to have the one where he would fake a side volley. I'm spitting all over the place. He'd fake a side volley, but like do like a curly drop shot, so it just goes right down.
Aye.
Did he have a sub in head tennis?
So you'd like step back.
Did he have a sub in head tennis?
So he'd fake like the smash volley, so you'd go back and do the curly drop shot. What was Cragen like?
He'd be unbelievable at the curly shot, wouldn't he?
The old curly head.
Curly toe.
I would look, honestly, if it's us four.
We should start filming loads of sports like us. He's good at table tennis as well.
Is he?
Very good.
Backhand.
I'll play you table tennis.
That you get pumped, beat.
I'd get pumped and beat.
Right, player of the week, and that's us. Who's your player of the week this week?
Joe Rebo.
I'm going to say Joe Rebo as well. He was fucking brilliant,
he
by
was
the way,
very
wasn't he? His feet, how powerful is he, like, in terms of his
Ryder, fuck's sake.
who are you going for? James Forrest?
Who will I go for?
James Forrest. What's the update on James Forrest? Have you got any inside knowledge for us? Is he back soon?
Don't get me started on that with that boy. What's
Do
happened
you know what to play centre half?
What's happened to him?
Are you still speaking?
Aye. My player of the week. Shankland. Who's got the Rangers?
Mark McNulty.
There you go. No, I don't know. Don't be busy this weekend.
So, you're us to pick for you?
I picked somebody for me.
We'll go...
Joe Rebo.
No, why don't we go Nella Med at St Johnstone? She's goal.
Aye, it was a good finish.
Left foot.
Very good
Right in the
finish.
top corner. Good player him. Alright.
What's yours, Kev?
I'm going to go with Joe Rebo because
I'll go Rebo as well. I thought Rebo.
I thought he was
I think
powerful.
what was he scored 2, set up 2?
He was going by Peter Lees, but he was really
Sorry,
good.
scored 1, set up 2.
Aye, scored one.
His goal was...
Very good.
Yeah.
Very good.
I can't believe that. You waited to start the show.
Huh?
Gerard away, man. Brilliant. Is it going to happen, man? Confirmed.
Brilliant, right.